Hi, welcome back to the Launch Point Leader podcast. My name's Lori.
And this is Bo.
And we're so excited to be back another week to share with you a listener has written into us. If you or someone out there has a leadership scenario you're going through that you just want to hear about, or just a question you want to ask, we would love to share that. You can write us in at advice@launchpointleader.com. Our letter today says, Dear LaunchPoint, I'm a relatively new business owner. I've been in business for 5 years, but I'm just to the point where I'm expanding my team past me and a couple of friends who started the company alongside me. Now, as I grow, I have to think about things like benefits to continue to attract a team. I want to provide a place where people can build a career as well as a good life for themselves. At the same time, however, we're still very much a small business. So I also need to ensure that our business remains financially healthy. I'm struggling to find the right balance between offering attractive benefits and controlling costs. How can I make informed decisions that will benefit both my employees and the company's bottom line? As you have grown your team and time progresses, how has your approach to benefits changed? What is a good place for you to start? What would you consider your non-negotiables? Thanks for your input. Balancing benefits.
First question is, after 5 years with your friends, are you still friends?
Right. It sounds like they might still be working there.
Because if so, that sounds pretty awesome.
Right.
It sounds like a pretty good gig.
Mm-hmm.
But congratulations on 5 years in business. That's a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
Small business is the backbone of our economy. We have a small business. So, I completely applaud you for what you've done. I think as we think about the benefit question,
right.
And the need to stay profitable and viable as a company, but also attract top talent and keep the talent that you have. But also, if they're your friends, just be like, hey, you guys need to suck it up. And right, maybe not the best advice.
And maybe that's how they become not friends.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. So maybe don't listen to that piece. But I would just say I'd start small. Ask your current team what things you currently do really mean a lot to them.
Yeah.
And what are valuable to them. What things maybe give them some options that you've researched that you could start with as a benefit package and go, of these, what would be of the most value and importance to you that we don't currently do? I'd research the marketplace too, from your competitors and your suppliers, and think about if you're trying to attract top level talent.
Right.
You really want to at least offer what the marketplace is offering, or at least be aware of what they're looking at. So I think just an example, what I would say is starting small. We service, our team runs across several segments of the age spectrum, the population. We've got them all.
Right.
And so what's right for a quarter of our team isn't right for 3/4 of our team. But if we didn't offer that quarter would probably not work with us, or the talent level wouldn't be as great as it is. So one example of starting small that we did years ago is we said, we got a lot of college students that work for us, and we want to try to attract the top and the best of the best. So we're going to give them the opportunity to have a flexible schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They can request off, they can change their availability. They don't have to work 40 hours a week, but we've got to give them flexibility. And then we started doing tuition reimbursement.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it started as like $500 or $1,000 for the year. And we had a few people, do that. It was a great thing. As you fast forward to today and we've grown, that tuition reimbursement has doubled or tripled in the amount. We've added things like student debt reimbursement, scholarships, all kinds of things for that segment of the population that works for us. So I think that's what I mean by start small, is that you don't have to go comprehensive if you don't have the ability to do that yet, but target those one or two things and then build on that to continue to attract it as you grow.
Absolutely. I think exactly what you said is really important. And starting with the people you currently have, ask them if you have any benefits currently. Maybe you don't, maybe because it's been such a small, tight-knit community, maybe the relationships they're getting out of it and the passion they have for your business has kind of buffered some of the need for other benefits that you might be looking to add. So maybe ask your team what they've had at jobs in the past, but then I think more importantly, market research. And I think it's an okay question to ask people in interviews, what kind of benefits would attract you to the team? What are you looking for when you're looking for a job? Because we always tell people in interviews, where you're interviewing us, we're interviewing you. It's not a one-sided conversation.
Right.
You want to make sure it's the right fit. So I think as you're starting to look at hiring new people, I think it's an okay question to not be afraid to ask, because you'd want to say I don't want to seem like I don't have my benefits together, but ask and see. If you start to see patterns, you're going to see from the market you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's direct research, not even just what competitors are offering, because sometimes competitors might have things that maybe just aren't the values of your current job market. Because I think as we look at the last 4 or 5 years in particular, the job market's changed a lot. What people are looking for out of their jobs is different than maybe it was in even 2018, 2019.
It is. And I think that can bring up the point of with the company being so small, the greatest competitive advantage you have in benefits is the culture of your company.
Absolutely.
So, you and this group of friends, and it's probably grown some since then, y'all are still small enough that you need to be able to harness that energy and that passion for the mission and make sure that you never lose that as you bring in outside folks, and make sure that outside folks can match or connect with that level of passion and energy for the mission that you have as a business. Because I think that, the culture is your greatest competitive advantage. You can offer a laundry list of benefits, and if the culture is not good, I mean, they'll just go somewhere else that gives them those benefits too. So create that competitive advantage there. I didn't mention that at first, and I want to make sure that we talked about that a little bit.
And I also want to commend Balancing Benefits for thinking through this, because something that can happen when you're transitioning from a really small team, kind of that smart startup atmosphere and feel, is you forget to document these things and have these written down. And it's things you do, but maybe it can be varying. So standardizing this at this point in time is really good, and it's going to help your business really grow to the next level, I think. So really commend you for that, and encourage you to, even if things, take in count things you're already doing that maybe you don't realize it could be presented as a really good benefit for your team, maybe whether it's paid time off your team has, or you guys know that kind of structure. Formalizing it now will help you as you continue to expand. I think those are really good things. What would you consider, his last question, a non-negotiable? Do you have any of those? Maybe it's different for a business. Maybe there's not a non-negotiable.
I don't know that I would have a non-negotiable. I think I would go and look at what is the lowest hanging fruit potentially. And you mentioned paid time off. I mean, I feel like that is a low hanging fruit. That does it cost you a little bit? It does. But it's not going to cost you as much as going and getting a comprehensive insurance program, for your people. So I think non-negotiable wise, I wouldn't say that I have any, except that PTO has been a part of what we do for a long time. And if you want the best people at their best, you got to give them time off.
Absolutely.
And pay for it to a degree. So I think that's a great low hanging fruit piece right there. I think from a tactical standpoint, the one thing I say is you start exploring these more kind of past the pay time off or sick days or, for free lunch or whatever it might be, is you start looking deeper into the more comprehensive benefits, shop around and get quotes from multiple different places for whatever you're looking for. And if somebody tries to sell you too hard, what they're selling is probably too good to be true, because I've had that happen to me a few times and gotten taken advantage of because I didn't do my research. So tactically, I would just mention those couple of things as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are great places to start. And I think Balancing Benefits is definitely on the right track for what they need to do to grow their business to the next level. So I think it's some really good thoughts there. And an important thing you've got to balance, because you want to attract the right people, like they said, help people build a good career, which you can't do if you don't have a profitable business, but also give them a good life where they can provide for themselves and their families. I think is really good to have at the forefront of your mind. And I think that will help them make those balanced decisions.
And beyond culture, I can say, in my personal opinion, especially in the last 5 years since you've been in business, from what I've seen, the culture has shifted to the point where it's like, hey, it's great that you have benefits, and I really expect paid time off, but the thing I'm really looking for is, what's that number that's it on the paycheck? What's my salary? What is my pay?
Yeah, such a good point.
And if you've got to kind of weigh out between, I can add this benefit or I can increase pay, in my opinion, what we've seen, increase pay every time.
Yeah.
Every single time, until you max out what your marketplace competitors are offering.
Yeah.
And then look at that benefit.
That's a good point too. Something to really evaluate as you're looking at that initial offering, because people see that dollar amount before they're looking through your whole package.
Yeah.
So if
what am
that
I taking
dollar amount
home?
isn't where it should be, they're not even going to look through the rest of it.
Scroll on.
You can do the fancy calculations where it
Yes.
says compensation total, and that's helpful. I think
It
that's
is.
something we do, and it could show that perspective. But until you adjust and see where that can get you, I think that's going to change your level of tone
Yeah.
too. Such a good point to bring back in.
That's why we're here, Lori, just to make great points.
Absolutely.
You know?
And for more great points, we would love if you guys would write us in at advice@launchpointleader.com, balancing benefits. We really appreciate you writing in today and just sharing where you're at with your business. Congratulations again. We're really excited just to see how you continue to grow. We'd love for you to write us back in 6 months and a year and hear where you are now. But if you or anyone else has anything you'd like to just for us to weigh on and give some good points, great ideas, we would love to hear from you at advice@launchpointleader.com. Thank you.
Have a good one.